haircut. She was a furry little thing. There, she's giving Coco a good ear chewing. She was good at doing that, as most women are. And Charlotte's in front of the fireplace with Coco or Candy one, I can't tell from the picture. The ears are flapping. Back on the beach again with Mr. Coco and Candy. Coco's had just about enough of that. He's ready to get in where it's cool. There's Miss Charlotte laying out on the beach catching a few rays. There she is walking her puppy dogs again. There's another picture of the house in Smoke Rise, front of it. And there's a good picture of Miss Charlotte and Candy. Traded a good 30-30 Winchester rifle for that puppy. There's a good shot of the back of the house, looking from the street across the holler. And there's a good picture of Mr. Coco. Looks just like the picture of the poodle on the Mighty Dog food can. Another good picture of the beach. Back home again, there's the front yard in Smoke Rise. There's the first barn I built on the back of the property. Made out of old lumber I had cut out of old power poles. There's a pier in Panama City on the beach. Good picture of the ocean. There's a picture of standing on our back deck looking out across the holler towards the garden and at the property there in Smoke Rise. Another good picture of the front of the house. Didn't have cable up there back then. I got a TV antenna on the house. There's a picture of the fence I put all the way around the 6 acres of land. That was cut out of old power poles. Made lumber out of them. Pretty good little project. Took me a little while to do that. The ground up there was hard digging, especially in the summertime. There's old Lukey boy on the beach again. About 32, 34 years old, somewhere in that neighborhood. All these pictures are made from a period of from 1969 to about 1974, and I don't think we made any 35mm slides after that. There's a picture of one of my gardens there in Smoke Rise. I had a big garden every year till I started sawmilling. And there's another picture of the barn I built. Oh my goodness, look at Miss Charlotte. A good looking woman. Catching a few rays there. She looks good laying down too. Another picture of the house in Smoke Rise before we added on to it. And back at the ocean again in Panama City. We had a snow while we were in Smoke Rise. One or two anyway. That don't look like much snow, and it probably wasn't. We don't get much down here, but there's a good picture of Miss Charlotte at the back of the house during the snow wearing my fleece lined leather coat that she gave me back in the 60s, and I still have it. Don't get cold enough to wear it around here much. That's a good picture of Miss Charlotte out on the raft in the ocean. That's a motel where we stayed in Panama City. There's old Lukey boy catching him a few rays of sun. Big old boy laying there. There's a picture of Mr. Eric, Van's adopted son, down at Mother's and Dad's. Another picture of the snow and Smoke Rise. That's a picture very close up of Scotty. He was our across the street neighbor's dog, and he stayed around our house a lot. A little Scottish Terrier. Black as the ace of spades. Back at the ocean again. There's Miss Charlotte laying out there catching her a few Z's. Few rays, I mean. Another picture of the house in Smoke Rise with a little snow on it. There's Coco and Candy with their little sweaters on. They're going out for a walk in the snow. There's Miss Charlotte down at Mother's with Eric on Easter. Probably hide some Easter eggs there in a minute. There's Van and Brenda and Charlotte and Mother and Eric. Eric's Brenda's son, and Van is his adopted father. Another good picture of him. Van didn't have a beard then, but he had a mustache. There's a good picture of Mother and Eric. Yeah, now we're getting down to the Easter egg hiding. Eric really liked his Aunt Charlotte. He was a rascal. There we are back in Smoke Rise in the snow again. There's my across the street neighbor's house, Dennis Smith, as they were building it. He was a good friend and a good neighbor. Still lives there. There's a good picture of the front of our house without the snow. There's a magnolia tree in the front yard I planted, and it's blooming when I left. Anyway, this is the front view of the first little barn I built up there. It had four sheds or 4 stalls and a tool room. There's Coco and Candy and Miss Charlotte Ann. Good picture of those nice legs. And Coco and Candy's only child. Charlotte's holding him or her. Candy spoiled a little thing. It like never learned how to walk. There's Coco showing out. Yeah, that's across the street neighbors on the east side of our house as they were building that. It was a big house, and of course they had a big family. Good picture of our front yard there with our fence and flowers around it. Another picture of the house in Smoke Rise. Well, there's a picture of the barn again. I had an old International diesel tractor and all the implements there to work my garden and bush hog the place and keep it up, and it took it too. It was a full-time job. That and working at Alabama Power Company. Another view of the barn, or shed I should say. I built the barn later. I don't know if I've got any slides of it, but I've got it on the other disc. There's Candy nursing her little baby. There they are playing. Candy and her baby. There's Miss Charlotte holding the baby. He was just a big ball of dark fur. You couldn't tell anything about him. There's Dad and Van and Van's first wife, Carolyn. About 1972, I guess. Dad died when he was 60 in 1974. There's another good picture of Miss Charlotte holding the baby up. It's a good looking woman and a good looking puppy. And they both know it. Had nice legs too. That's sitting on the walks going up to our steps going up to the walk there at Smoke Rise. I made several pictures that day. I was especially of those pretty legs. Let's concentrating on dogs and legs, looks like. And there she is holding the baby up. Coco kind of checking things out. Everything sure is lush and green. It's got to be summertime. Looks like the grass needs to be cut. Them legs still look good too. There's a picture of the baby taking a nap. And another view. Couldn't tell nothing about the little booger. Just a ball of fur. Oh, that was a good looking woman with that dark black hair. Very photogenic. Now she's got Coco and the baby. Coco ain't liking it too much. He's about ready to get back in the air conditioning. It's hot. I guess it would be if he was wearing a fur coat. Oh, looks like the baby is having some dinner there, playing with his mama, one of the two. rough housing a little bit there now. Well, there's Miss Charlotte. We're back on the trip again. I don't know exactly where that's at, but it's pretty. More Grand Canyon pictures. This is the north rim of the Grand Canyon. Looking down in there with the trees. Not quite as spectacular as the south rim, but it's still nice. It's a long ways down there. You'd starve to death if you fell off there before you hit the ground. That's a deep hole in the ground, I'll tell you that. But it's beautiful. This is more of the Bryce Canyon in Utah. That's a beautiful place too. We didn't get to spend much time there, but it was beautiful. You kind of drive through and look at it really, and these pictures don't even do it justice. I'd like to go back out there with a good camera and really make some pretty pictures. Maybe we can. Who knows? Now we over at Durango, Colorado again. We did a little sightseeing around there that Sunday we got there. That's a beautiful area too. Up on the mountains looking down at the river. Very scenic place. It's all the Durango, Colorado area here. Bet that is pretty in the winter time with snow on it. But that little river, or they call it a river, it's a creek, looks to me like, but it was pretty. There's a picture of me, I think at Durango. I'm not sure. That is pretty creek. Yeah, there's Miss Charlotte checking the creek out. There's an old railroad bridge across the creek, and I'm holding my sunglasses down there. I'm not doing what it looks like. More pictures of the north rim of the Grand Canyon. More pictures of Bryce Canyon. More pictures of Bryce Canyon. The same place, Bryce Canyon. That's still Bryce Canyon. That's a beautiful rock formation there. You ride through that canyon and look, and it's just beautiful. There's Miss Charlotte sitting on the rock wall there. I believe we're still in Bryce Canyon, but oh yeah, beautiful scenery. Beautiful place. Well, we're back home. There's Candy and her baby. Look like baby's getting dinner. And we're back out in the desert southwest.